The notion that scientists blaspheme God with their supposed science is a concept that has been debated for centuries. Many individuals believe that the pursuit of scientific knowledge and the discoveries that arise from it are a direct challenge to the existence and authority of a higher power. However, this perspective is often rooted in a misunderstanding of the scientific method and the goals of scientific inquiry. Science, at its core, is a systematic approach to understanding the world around us. It involves the formulation of hypotheses, the collection of data, and the testing of theories through experimentation and observation. The ultimate goal of science is to provide a comprehensive and accurate description of the natural world, free from personal biases and assumptions. In this sense, science is not inherently anti-theistic or blasphemous, but rather a means of uncovering the underlying laws and principles that govern the universe. One of the primary areas where science is often seen as being at odds with religious doctrine is in the realm of origins. The scientific theory of evolution, for example, suggests that life on Earth arose through a process of natural selection and genetic drift, rather than through divine creation. However, this does not necessarily preclude the existence of a higher power or creator. Many scientists and theologians argue that evolution and creation are not mutually exclusive concepts, and that the mechanisms of evolution can be seen as a manifestation of God's will or plan. Another area of contention is the concept of miracles. Many religious traditions rely on the idea of miraculous events or interventions as a means of demonstrating the power and authority of a higher power. However, scientists often view miracles as unpredictable and unrepeatable events that cannot be studied or tested through the scientific method. This does not mean that scientists are dismissing the possibility of miraculous events, but rather that they are recognizing the limitations of scientific inquiry in this area. Some critics argue that the scientific method is inherently reductionist, breaking down complex systems into their constituent parts in order to understand them. However, this approach can be seen as a form of reverence for the complexity and beauty of the natural world, rather than a dismissal of its sacred or spiritual aspects. By studying the intricate mechanisms and patterns that underlie the world around us, scientists are often driven by a sense of awe and wonder at the majesty of creation. It is also worth noting that many scientists are themselves people of faith, and see no inherent conflict between their scientific pursuits and their spiritual beliefs. In fact, some of the most influential scientists in history, such as Isaac Newton and Galileo Galilei, were deeply religious individuals who saw their scientific work as a means of understanding and appreciating the divine plan. Ultimately, the idea that scientists blaspheme God with their supposed science is a simplistic and misguided perspective. Science and faith are not mutually exclusive, but rather complementary ways of understanding the world and our place within it. By recognizing the limitations and strengths of each approach, we can work towards a more nuanced and comprehensive understanding of the complex and multifaceted nature of reality. Rather than seeing science as a threat to religious doctrine, we should recognize it as a means of deepening our appreciation and reverence for the natural world and the mysteries that lie beyond the reach of human understanding.